Hello, dudes and dudettes. Team Liquid and Day 9 TV proudly present the King of the Beta tournament as part of the Heart of the Swarm community launch party. And what better way to celebrate the release of Heart of the Swarm than to watch these two baller badasses duke it out against one another in a complete and total giddy fest of casting entertainment for me, and ideally you. Down in the bottom right, having put up an incredible fight against the Zerg creative mastermind, Grubby is the man down. 0-1 is the green Protoss in the bottom left. Or excuse me, the bottom right corner. Down in the bottom left, against all odds and against all, really, logic, TLO pulls off an incredible Swarm Host-based comeback against Grubby, sacrificing an expansion, swinging back, dealing with many a recall, and finally securing himself the 1-0 spot in this round of 8 game. It is TLO in the bottom left of Newkirk City. Now, Newkirk City is an interesting map for, I think, Protoss expanding patterns, because this is the clear third base, and this could not be a clearer fourth base. Incredibly easy to defend. Really magnificent. At the same time, though, Zerg has an option that was once upon a time not available to him. The Zerg player has a straight attack path from the watchtower to this third base, meaning that controlling the center watchtower and the northern watchtower has a total lockdown on the map. The Swarm Host push is very potent. Before, Zerg didn't really have a direct siege unit as they did with the Swarm Host. That was more of a Terran or a Protoss thing. We've already seen TLO bring the noise hard with that. TLO going hatchery first, into pool first, Grubby going Nexus first. We'll likely follow this up with a gateway if he is white raw, or he will go straight for a forge. Oh, look at this! Going all economically up in this B. Favoring the pro production. Is he actually going to chrono boost? That would not be a bad play at all in this circumstance. I would love a chrono boost, but it looks like he will go for a gateway. Excellent way to exploit this. Very often when players see a Zerg going for hatch first, they'll say, "Oh, you dumb, bad Zerg. I could cannon rush you and win if only I'd gone forge first." And then the Protoss player goes Nexus, forge, gate, cannon. But we're seeing Grubby do the true counter exploit. If I went forge first, I'd cannon rush you. But since I wanted to go Nexus first, I'll do that, and I'll delay the forge huge. And in fact, my assimilator will be finished before I even begin that forge. And we're seeing TLO begin his third base right on point just before the 4-minute mark. Queen's about to begin from TLO. Here comes one. QQQQQ. QQQQQQ. QQ. Ah! Q at the expansion for TLO. He's queuing his QQs. A cybernetics core plants. Spot on point for Grubby. Has a number of options right now. A really interesting one is actually to go for the fast +1 ground weapons upgrade. We have this extremely fast cybernetics core. We can end up with a fast forge. We can end up with a fast warp gate and do some pressure almost as though we went gateway first. And it's really brutal and really difficult for Zergies to deal with. But it looks like we're not seeing that. What will we see? I'm actually going to stay here over the Protoss base and see exactly what's going to be happening. There's the warp gate. Zealot still en route. +1 attack. Could be a very swift Stargate given the way that the resources look right now. No, it is going to be a fast +1 ground attack. Lot of cool potential in this. Genuinely hoping to see some warp gate aggression come down. Some good old energy stored up. Ooh, even more good old energy stored up. There is no such thing as energy that is not good and old, according to Day 9. 5:50, opportune time to begin both of those extractors. 3 queens already done. Is he going for queens 4 and 5? No, just queen number 4. There's the mothership core coming out. Chrono boost right on that Nexus. There's the chrono boost on the cybernetics core. Ooh, my goodness. It looks like it's going to be a 7:30 warp gate timing. A very brutal timing to deal with. We're seeing zealots still be produced. Oh, so cool. Those gateways need to start now. Now. And there's 1, there's 2, and there's going to be 3. But will there be more than that? He could go, oh, it's going to be 5. He's going to go for even more. He could go for 6, 7. He could just go basically all in. Oh my gosh, it looks like that's exactly what he's doing. Is he going to go for yet another gateway? Oh my gosh! Look at how fast this is going to be going down. It's the 7-minute mark, and he's almost done with warp gate research. It looks like TLO is moving in at just the right time. He's going to spot everything. There is the speed overlord upgrade that needs to be canceled right away. Let's be honest, there's really only a few ways that you can go 7 warp gates all together. There's the pylon going down. Hilariously, this pylon is going down late because 7:30 warp gates, baby, that is way, way mondo early. Another pylon going down. What will TLO do? Is he still getting... Ah! It's a pneumatized carapace. It's really unnecessary. TLO needs to begin producing units, not speedy overlords that will be able to suicide to their deaths very quickly. But that's okay. It's just 50-50. It's not that big of a deal, but I'm still freaking out because +1 is done. This is one of the ways that Grubby's made his way to the grand finals of IEM Singapore. Now these zealots are going to essentially act as replacement force fields. There's the time bomb. This will allow him to utilize these stalkers to their maximum potential. There's 1 transfuse on the queen, 2nd transfuse, no dice. Spine crawler is down. TLO's doing his best to defend, to kite with those roaches, but he needs to get into a good position. Right now, Grubby just has such an overwhelming unit advantage. There's more stalkers, more zealots popping on into the fray. Back home, we're seeing all those zealots, all those gateways, just powering all these units out for Grubby. TLO now just trying to do his best to continue to mass Ling Stalkers. He's trying to get Burrow. He knows that with that hatch tech Burrow, there's going to be almost no way for Grubby to be able to defend, but it's still about 40 seconds out. At this point in time, TLO is just kiting back and forth in the main base. We see that in the upgrade panel, no metabolic boost, no Zergling speed at all. Gateway is just continuing to churn out units. No probes. Oh, probes actually starting back up again. Now that TLO has lost his expansion, Grubby's decided that it's time to start going for some long-term play. Grubby tries to cut these roaches off and does a magnificent job. TLO amazingly has the food lead somehow and can begin using that burrow micro, and there's the burrow. TLO needs to be a little bit more adamant about that, but gosh, Grubby just has so many units that TLO says good game, which means that Grubby has tied the series up 1-1. Can Grubby defeat TLO in a straight-up game where those swarm hosts are going to be a little bit too strong? It's time to go into game number 3 on Cloud Kingdom to find out who will be the victor heading in to the semifinal.